Welcome to the Fermented Homestead. If you're new here, my name is Anna, and on this channel I'm sharing our journey of learning how to turn our home into a homestead. Today we're going to be doing a bunch of different gardening projects, well today and tomorrow, but it'll all be today's video. And I wanted to kind of bring you along and show you just a little bit of what we actually have to do here. It is currently the end of February, and I've already started a bunch of different seeds, and I will go ahead and link to those videos up there if you're interested in those videos. We did tomatoes and peppers. We did, tomatoes, peppers, cabbage, cauliflower, broccoli, fennel, celeriac. I think that's it. There's probably a few other ones that I'm missing. But anyways, part of the purpose for today is to move this giant truck-sized pile of dirt over here. And we're going to go ahead and we're going to top off all of these beds here. And there's some of them need it more than others. These ones here, and for anybody who's following me last year, these are filled hugelkultur style. And these are filled with a bunch of varied ages of like tree trunks and branches and all kinds of wood chips and stuff like that on the bottom, and it's topped off with a half soil, half compost mixture, and then topped off on most of these is a bunch of like arborist chips. So the goal is I need to get the arborist chips up, and I need to get these things topped off and then put the chips back on top. I don't know if that's the right way of doing it, but that's the way I'm doing it. And we have, not all of them have the arborist mulch on top, or whatever you want to call it. Like this one here, that doesn't have it. And then the two metal ones on the far side, those don't have it. So basically my plan is I'm going to get all of, this is leftover beets. This area here is not good for growing beets. These ones I planted last spring and they just never really grew. They never took off. So I think that just doesn't get quite enough sun to be able to let these ones grow. So I have my garden all mapped out. We'll see how it goes. We're going to give it a try another try this year. Last year was a pretty, by most scales, a pretty miserable failure. It did not go well. It got obliterated by blight, and just I don't have enough sun. So we're hoping to be able to get at least enough of these trees taken down to where we can get enough sunlight to have a good effective garden. So what we're going to do today is we're going to be moving dirt. That's most of the priority for today. We're also going to be moving several of these out to the greenhouse over there. We're going to be moving all of the onions, and we're going to be moving some of the colder weather crops that have started and have pretty good sprout to them. In the next 10 days, we have one day that we're probably going to have to move them back into the house overnight. But other than that, it's perfectly fine weather and they should be totally fine. So that's my plan, is keep them out there most of the time. And at night when it gets cold, if on the nights that it does get cold enough, I'm just going to truck them back in. For now, there's about 4 flats, and probably going to be a few more coming in the next few days. For the most part, it's a manageable amount to be able to bring in and out. This raised bed here is the longest one that we have, and it is also the last one that we filled. So it didn't quite get enough soil. There's probably, I don't know if you can tell, but there's about a 6-inch lag here, especially on this side. So this is the side that is going to get the most of the soil, and so just all of these. And then also my husband has some potato beds over here that he is working on getting refilled. He used it last year and it worked out great. He got tons of potatoes from this small area, so he's going to kind of expand it a bit. Chickens. And he's going to kind of expand it a little bit, and hopefully we'll get even more potatoes. This area here, right next to the giant bed here, this is covered in silage tarp. Not like true silage tarp, it's actually just a black tarp, a black plastic. I think it's like 6 mil. But anyways, I have this covered. I did have the chickens running in here for several months, and after we pulled up the squash and the melons, it was mostly just squash, really. Our melons didn't grow. So once we pulled these up, I put the chickens out here to kind of take care of it over most of the winter, and then I moved them over there to treat that area there, and I covered this with a silage tarp. Some of the bumps, there's still some hay that's larger sized in there. So this area is going to again be a bunch of squashes, summer, winter squash, all that kind of stuff is going to be in here. And then over there where the chickens are currently, I'm just about to move them here. And basically what I'm going to do, last year I tried to convert this into a roof stout area. It just does not get enough sun. It just doesn't. It's got the house on one side and then trees on the other side, and it's a very limited window where the sun actually shines here, at least until we're able to get more of the property logged. But really, I think this is just going to end up being kind of a semi-permanent chicken run area. it doesn't get enough sun, but it doesn't get enough sun for plants, but it'll get plenty of sun for the chickens. And it's just gonna be a nice area that I can have next to the garden, throw in a bunch of the waste in there. So the goal, I'm gonna just about getting ready to get these guys out of here. They've been in here for a couple months as well, at least a month. I don't think it's been a couple months, it's been a month. But I have 16 chickens and roosters in here combined. 3 roosters, and the rest are chickens. And so I'm gonna move them just right here, and they can have more of a permanent area to actually be able to run and do their thing. And then this is gonna be colder weather crops. This is gonna be cabbage, kale. Well, I don't know about kale, but like some of the larger size ones, as well as like peas and beans and things that I just kind of, okay, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna move the chickens over there, not today, and then this area is gonna be for cabbage, broccoli, cauliflower, peas. I know peas aren't larger, but mostly like larger cold weather crops that I don't have to tend to terribly much, and I'm just gonna keep them under the what do they call that stuff? Agribond, to keep any of the cabbage moths away from them. And then I'm also gonna be putting in hopefully enough of a fence to be able to keep the little bunnies out. We'll see how it goes. Just kind of keeping you posted on what I've got going on. Okay, so let's go down to the greenhouse. So we're gonna keep this area here as grass area for raising chickens, and I've got my first round of chickens. It was supposed to come last week, but with all the terrible weather around the country, they weren't shipping any live animals, so my order got pushed back a whole month, which is super disappointing. But you know, other people are gonna get pushed back farther too. So we have this back area here, and I put in this window, but I can't get it to shut, and I need to put something on here. But for now, you know, it's fine. Everything in here is gonna be elevated. So in here is plenty warm in here. Just walking in here, you can feel a temperature change, obviously, even though it's not sunny outside whatsoever. And so we just have a little bit of stuff. Oh, you're wobbling. Okay. So in here, we just have a very minor bit of cleanup. We just have some of the, I don't know what you call this stuff, weed tarp, and just have some weed tarp, and then some hay. Really, I mean, I didn't get too dirty in this one over the winter, so it's not a huge deal. So we're gonna get some plants down here and finally kick this greenhouse off. I'm pretty excited. I don't know about you guys, I'm sure you guys are too. It's just the start of the gardening season, and it's amazing. So we got all the seed trays in the greenhouse that I want to put in the greenhouse. I did find 3 more flats that I had up on my porch from what I planted like late summer. I was hoping to plant in the fall, but I didn't get them started soon enough, and so I just kind of left them there for a really long time. And they've just been in the elements and doing quite terribly ever since then. But they're still there. So at least half of them are still have seedlings in them. So I'm gonna just bring them inside until I need the actual trays. I'm gonna bring them inside. I'm gonna bring them into the greenhouse, let them grow, see if they do. We'll see how they go, and you know, if anything, it's just kind of a waste of space that I don't need right now. So it's not a big deal. So we are on to shoveling dirt into the beds. It just started to kind of pick up and rain just a little bit. So I think I might have to angle you from inside of the greenhouse and just kind of give you an idea of what I'm up to. All right, so it is already tomorrow evening, and we have just had terrible weather, terrible rain, and I think as you guys saw when I finished up last night around dark, I had gotten quite a bit of the longer bed down there at the end finished, but I hadn't finished it. And so today I'm going to show you what I got done. It was just terrible weather, and I couldn't bring my camera out for it. I could barely even be out in it. That way. So we got this one all filled. I need to level it out still just a little bit. So we have these 5 beds, those 3 there, and then the 2 that are beyond there. Those ones we still need to do. So I think I got probably about 2/3 of the beds done. I got these 2 done. I got the wood chips out and moved to the other beds, and then I topped it off. So that was pretty good. Okay, so you can see here, you got all the wood chips that I moved over. The one that I moved over there, I put in the wheelbarrow and brought it over, but this one was just right next door to that one, so I was able to just bring it over without really disturbing it a whole lot. So the reason that I kind of like the idea of moving these around, especially to these 2 metal beds and then that one up there in the corner, those are the 3 beds that did not have any wood chips on it last year, so it didn't get a chance to actually develop all this fungi, whatever, mushroom stuff. Didn't get a chance to do that. So I kind of like the idea of moving it from the ones that had developed it to the ones that didn't have any yet, and that will hopefully help to advance the development of the mushrooms on there. And I'm gonna go ahead and get a couple of truckloads of the wood chips again, so that I can go ahead and finish off the rest, because I do want to have wood chips on at least all of these beds, possibly over there once the chickens are out and we have like the peas and all that kind of stuff. I might put some wood chips over there yet. I haven't decided yet. I kind of like the idea of it just for like erosion control and stuff like that, so we'll kind of see how that goes. And if you want to go ahead and go over here to the greenhouse and we can check on all of our seedlings. These ones are the ones that came from the porch. These are cabbage, what's this one? Broccoli? Cabbage and broccoli. And they're doing about like what you would expect for something that has gone through everything that this has gone through. It was on the porch since about late July, early August. And through all of the weather, through all of everything, I just came along every once in a while and dumped the rainwater out of these. But everything else seems to be doing fantastic. We only have one real tray of like actual starch. The rest are just onions and old stuff. So these are doing fine. This one's not doing as good as I thought it was yesterday. These are just a bunch of cabbage. We'll see how many of them survive. If any of them do, I'll plant them. If they don't, I won't. And then this one too, I don't expect will do anything really. And I accidentally took the tags out. I have no idea what they are. So this one's probably, I'm quite confident, it's just a total waste of time. But the onions are doing great. And the broccoli, cabbage, what is this? Cabbage. So now we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna go inside and we're gonna clean up some of the trays that we had on the porch, and then we're gonna go ahead and start up some what am I starting? Some salad. I have a big hole in my greenhouse. That wasn't there before. Windstorm got it, I guess. I'm gonna have to patch that one up. So anyways, we're gonna go inside, we're gonna plant some lettuce and some Swiss chard, maybe something else, we'll see, and I'll bring you along and show you just a little bit more of the rest of my weekend. So we're a little bit late, but it's finally time to plant our lettuce. It took me so much longer to clean all of this stuff than I anticipated it would, so it's actually the next day. I went to work this morning, I'm home, and now we're finally gonna plant some lettuce and get these things going. Just a note to anybody who might be a new gardener or anybody who's a fellow procrastinator, clean that stuff in the fall. It is so much easier to clean when it's just dirty. It's much more difficult to clean it when it's got like all the algae and the gross stuff on it. Just clean it ahead of time. We are going to be planting now, we're going to be planting lettuce and chard. I'll show you the ones that we got. This is a Lola Rosa, an oak leaf lettuce from M.I. Gardner, a Maribel des Quatre Saisons. Yeah, right. That is not accurate. There we go. And then we have a Little Gems romaine lettuce. This one's super duper old. We have a butternut crunch lettuce, or butter crunch lettuce, pardon me. And we have a black seeded Simpson lettuce. A Gold Rush oak leaf lettuce. This one is also really old. And then a Swiss chard. What is this one? Ford hook. And then a rainbow Swiss chard, the pretty one. And then we have a Kragner Summer and a Jericho. And the last one is a Bib lettuce. And all we're gonna do with these is I'm just gonna plant one row of each kind, and then we're just gonna plant one row of each kind, and then we're gonna sprinkle on a bunch of vermiculite, and that's just gonna be basically it, and water it down, of course. So I'm gonna start out by putting the chard on one side, because I think there's a possibility this one might grow a little bit quicker than the lettuce. We'll see how it goes. I just want to have easy access if I need to transplant these before the other ones. So now that we have all of our seeds actually planted, all I'm going to do is come along and I'm just going to sprinkle some vermiculite on top, and that is going to serve as kind of a barrier and a protector against any kind of what are they called? Some kind of a mite, I can't think of the name of it right now, and also some kind of like a green, like a mold or a moss that'll start forming on top. It'll protect against that, and it'll also help to retain moisture so that it will just hold onto water much better, especially on the surface where we're actually going to have the seed. And in the last time that I planted lettuce, I did actually put some soil on top of it, and it never broke through. Like none of the lettuce bloomed, or none of the lettuce sprouted. So I'm trying this new way this year and not burying them pretty much really at all, especially the smaller ones, and the more delicate ones like lettuce and things like that. I'm not going to bury them all. I'm just going to put some vermiculite on top, and that's it. And that is just going to help it to be able to break the surface better, and it'll help it, hopefully it will help it to have a better germination rate. There we go. Vermiculite is not required. You can just put a little bit of dry soil on top of it, or not soil, but planting medium on top of it. If you guys are curious what kind of plant starting mixture I'm using, I make my own. I will go ahead and link that video up here, and you can check that one out. And then there's also another one if it's a little more homestead friendly. If you have a truck or anything like that, you can check out that video. That one's a lot cheaper. But even this one is going to save you a ton of money over the gardening season versus those Jiffy seed starting mixes. Those things are so expensive. The way that I'm doing it is much, much cheaper. And you can also just sprinkle a little bit of that on top, a little bit of dried, and then wet it down, and that'll work just fine. You just don't want to put too much, like a thickness of the soil on top of it, because then it will have, especially the lettuce, will have a really hard time breaking through the surface. So now all I'm going to do is I'm just going to kind of water it lightly with a mist. We're not going to go anything crazy. You want to make sure that you get all your stuff out of the way, because it'll kind of splatter a little bit, and you don't want to get your seed packaging wet. So I always like to make sure I move it out of the way. Ask me how I know that. Because I did. So that's all there is for this weekend's worth of gardening. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys learned something, maybe got a little bit of inspiration of what you guys are going to start planting in your garden. Let me know down below how long you guys have until you guys are able to start starting garden, or how long ago you were able to. So thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, please do give it a thumbs up. Remember to subscribe to this channel if you haven't already, and we'll see you next time. Bye.